So inside Chronopassion. Now I really want to show you what this boutique looks like, because if you are a watch fan, a watch enthusiast like me, you walk into a place like this and all of a sudden your attention is taken. You can't think straight. You're looking at all these fabulous timepieces that, you know, they really are wonderful. And so I'm going to walk this way first of all, and then I think I'll turn the camera and take you up to the windows. But hopefully I've captured Bulgari Octo there. And you might have already seen a few brands that you like. I'll turn the camera. So I suppose it's very fitting. Moser is the first in the window here. Now, if you're a Moser fan, straight away you are greeted with heaven. This is Moser heaven. Straight away we've got the collaboration with Studio Underdog, and there is a pair. Now, if you see my other videos, you might also recognize, some of these watches anyway. But I suppose I'm not really a good person to talk about watches, because I tend to point the camera at watches that I like. So what I find is that when you actually like a watch, offering a dialogue attached to it, is not always easy, because the dialogue goes something like, "Oh, I do like that. Oh, I really like that." And being critical, I probably can't find a critical comment to make, but I will try to be subjective and objective. But I think I'm going to end up saying, "Oh my goodness, look at that." I'm one of those people, I don't mind brown and fumé brown, especially this piece here. Now, one of the things that I do like about Moser, and I think I've noticed it in all their models that have a date window, because once again, one of the lovely things about watch collecting and being passionate about watches are things that you like. For some reason, I like a date on the dial. And look at that there. Moser always has a slightly larger date window and date. And somebody that likes dates, this is such a nice feature. And for me, it's something that I really appreciate. So, these pieces here, forgive me, Moser fans, you're going to be thinking, talk about this detail. And I suppose I'm in awe, and I keep going to this brown here because right now, if I had the firepower, I'd be wanting to walk out of this store with that watch. There is something about it. Now I know that it's just a strap, but the strap, the way it color matches the dial, and the extra complications on that dial, and of course the Moser dial. What a lovely dial. And of course this one here. Now at the top of my head, I don't remember it, and I don't want to butcher the dial name, but isn't that lovely? I mean, that is lovely. But the brown one here, that's really got me. And when I put this video together, I'll hopefully capture its real name and the reference number, and I'll pop that in the video now. So hopefully you'll get that. Now, this is really heaven, isn't it? People are going to say to me, "Stephen, you don't know all these watches. This is amazing." But at least I'm capturing, giving you sight of. If I do this with all the brands here, we're going to be here for ages. Okay, let me go to the next brand, and it's another brand that I particularly like. Once again, I've done videos of Ressence before, and I've met Benoit a couple of times. Such a lovely chap, and I think that the brand and how their brand treat their customers, is very delightful. And Ressence is definitely one of those. A lot like Moser, actually. Absolutely lovely the way that these brands talk to their customers. But look at that one there. And of course, we know that one of the things I think people love about Ressence as a brand is the technology, is what Benoit has done, building this very unique aesthetic. Oh, look at that one there. I mean, I know that's unusual. Some people will think it's unusual. Some people like me are going to think, oh, I love it. What they've done with the dial. And I do apologize if the flickering. Sometimes the way the position of the camera is with the lamp, you can get a flickering effect, and hopefully that will come and go. I think that's the dive watch there. Oh, I do like it. I'm one of those watch people that likes slightly larger cases as well. Yeah, I can really see the draw to Ressence, and this one here with a very grey general aesthetic with the flashes of yellow. Isn't that delightful? I do like it. I do, and this white one here. Actually, yeah, I do apologise. It's very difficult to be to talk about these when you literally like all of them. I do. I would. There isn't a Ressence watch there that I do not like. I mean, I literally would wear every one. Now, from being an enthusiast collector on the receiving side of this, it is delightful to have so much choice. I suppose what I should do is always I should say to myself, okay, I have to walk out the shop with one. Which is the one I'm going to go for? And I think it's going to be. Oh gosh, I've just noticed this is a new piece. This was released last year in 2025, and it's got the integrated bracelet, and I know it's fantastic. But for some reason, I'm walking out the shop with this one here, because there is something about it that's wonderful, that's captured my attention. Isn't that delightful? Okay, so the next watch, this will be very quick, is Rudis Silver. I'm not familiar with this brand, but straight away the open dial there is presenting the movement. It's nice. I do like it. And if I move to the next, we've got there is a bit of flickering there, but hopefully it's not appearing on the camera. You see, look at this. I mean, this type of dial, this aesthetic. When you see it immediately, it is delightful. And because there is enough visual interest there to sort of pull you in and make you think, okay, well, how's the watch displaying all the information here? Isn't it nice? Okay, so now we have Singer. Now, I've noticed these watches a number of times, and for me, the Singer does have a characteristic sort of design look and feel, and those at the top, in fact, yeah, you can tell they're all Singers, but that one there in particular, that is a Singer, and I love the complexity, the initial visual complexity, and the detailing of the pushers on the side. But that dial there, and there we go. Hopefully, I've captured that. Now, just in case it's not a chrono, I would say that's a chrono, which is definitely. I'm drawn towards complicated mechanical watches, so this is straight in my wheelhouse. But aren't they nice? When you're in a shop like this, when you're seeing, so these are high-end brands, and you do start to feel this height of build quality, and I suppose it's right for me to say that, these are sophisticated watches, and they're expensive, yes, but they are offering so much technical application of design and build, and I suppose it does. You can feel it and see it. It is delightful. Now, if I go to the next one, we've got Byrne. Now, Byrne is a brand that I've come across a couple of times, and I really like them. They're a super brand. Now, if you've seen Byrne before, you'll recognise the dial and the changing 12, 3, 6 and 9 complication aspect of it, of the aesthetic. It is super, and it was the thing that really drew me into Byrne when I had no idea who they are. I simply saw the complexity of the watch and the watch dial, and I thought they were great. And so Byrne, I'm a huge fan of Byrne, straight from the go, because I've met them, and that dial is so Byrne to me. It's such a solid characteristic of their design. I love it. Now we have Space One, and I know that straight away that sort of aesthetic is going to jump out, and there are people out there that love it. It's complicated, it's different, it looks like a piece of artwork on your wrist. It's lovely. I do like it. And it's one of those watches that I would not take a punt on, but it's a watch that it would be a passionate purchase, because something grabbed your attention and you would like it, and then after a while you're going to like it more, especially when you've been in a few business meetings and people have said, "What are you wearing?" That's that sort of watch. Space One. Okay, so the next is Armida Digitrend, and this is right in my wheelhouse. This is exactly, if you've seen my other videos, you might have noticed that I've shown this watch before. I'm worried that the lighting is just slightly out for me, but it doesn't matter, because maybe on video it comes through. But I love the driving style of watch, and I just love the way that they've displayed some of the dial detail, but at the side, so it comes through on the side like this. As you're driving, you can see it. Isn't that lovely? I do like it. That is stylish. Look at that. If you saw someone wearing that at a dinner party, wouldn't you immediately want to go over and start chatting to them? And it would all centre around that watch. Isn't it lovely? Okay, Gerald Genta. Now, I suppose the watch fans out there immediately are going to be full of like for this brand, and you know, not everyone likes the designs, but after a while, even if you don't initially like the design, I find you, for some reason, start to like the design. For example, that pink watch there, imagine owning that. You know, especially if you like pink and you're a lady, isn't that going to be so cool? And then, you know, what's that on your wrist? A Gerald Genta. Isn't that lovely? And look at the black and gold one there. That is very cool. Yeah. So this is very, you know, this is a very smart, you know, an incredibly smart watch for a special event. I would wear one of these for sure, but I'd be thinking to myself, oh, I do need to be somewhere very special for this, because it really, you know, once again, mechanical art. I know it's overused, but this is mechanical art, a great example of it. It's lovely. Now, Daniel Roth. Lovely, just lovely. I've seen these watches before, and in a previous video I said I think they're just super. Aren't they lovely? Look at that. So straight away you just want both. Which one is your preference? I like them both. Aren't they super? I love the other thing I think I have to say is when you're in a place like this and you're looking at brands at this level, each brand does tend to have its own identity, its personality. You do start to see that, which I think is brilliant from a business point of view. When design links to brand to design, you know, that's a great business position to be in, you know, from a business point of view. But look at those. Now the black and white one's interesting. Look at that. Isn't that super? And clocks. People love this type of desk clock, and I suppose I could easily fall into that category. I could collect these, no problem. Look at that, it's just a nice way to view the time. Okay, now we've got Armin Strom. Now, you know, this is, I think, so these are my words, you know, this is a very understated brand. It's a very lovely brand, and the technical engineering, the mechanical engineering is fabulous. They're complicated, they're cool, they're very unassuming. Well, actually, I suppose if you're wearing something like that with an open dial, and yeah, if you know something about watches, you're going to, it's a showstopper. You're going to talk to someone wearing this watch if you like watches, because, you know, they are screaming that they are, you know, a lovely piece of mechanical artwork. That's Armin Strom. Again, I do like them, and I've met the brand, they're lovely. Okay, Louis Erard, and oh yes, again, you have that. For me, I feel I never know enough about the history behind these watches, but I love this this signature of design once again. It does pop through, especially this one here with Konstantin Chaikin. It's so cool. But then these others, I've looked at this watch a number of times and I thought, it's so playful and delightful. It makes you feel happy. It's got, because of the colors and the clarity, I don't know how, maybe, these are my words, but the design captures happiness. You feel happy when you look at these dials. And that's certainly one of the things that Louis Erard has conjured up in my reaction to that brand's watches. I do like them. Once again, I have to say, Chronopassion, they have so many pieces here. Like, I love being able to see, you know, a nice range. Well, in this case, a very large range of these super watches. Aren't they nice? And then we've got Frank Muller, and yeah, I know I've really done it here. This is an overload in fabulous timepieces. I am aware of that, but isn't that lovely? Look at that. I think I would like a Frank Muller. I really would. They are cool. I apologise once again for simply, you know, totaling my my video around, hey, look at this cool watch, Arnold & Son. Once again, aren't they lovely? It's lovely to be here and to browse all of the watches and perhaps look a bit further again at some of the brands and or watches in that brand that perhaps you haven't spent too much time looking at, you know, and taken an opinion. Now, I'm going to make this almost the last one, I think, colloquium. Now, I don't, the brand I've only heard about once, but this watch I've seen a number of times on social media, in magazines, and the texture of that dial is unreal. And I wish I knew the explanation of it, but it is cool. It's lovely. There's a 3D-ness to that dial, and it sort of grabs your eyes and pulls you into the dial. It is lovely. Look at that. Isn't it nice? Okay, and very quickly, Ralph Lauren. There's a pocket watch here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I'd wear a pocket watch. Now, Giuliano Mazzulli. Now, these are different. These are a little different. But again, I think it is a style that is really going to appeal to watch fans. And it's and it's giving me the vibe that when you have one, you're going to want a few. Yeah, I suppose that's the dilemma of every watch enthusiast. Okay, what I must do now is, you know, I'm going to make Bulgari the last the last window that I look at. Now, I have to say, we are really spoiled here because the Octo is probably, for me anyway, it's I would associate this watch and this design. It's probably one of the most successful watches that I've been aware of over the last couple of years. I mean, there'll be other watches that, you know, perhaps are sold more. But for me, this design is so cool because it's so recognizable across the room. You recognize a Bulgari Octo Finissimo, an Octo. And then what delights a collector is the variance. When a brand goes to town at the materials design, well, the construction of the materials, the exotic materials, creating new materials for a new watch, or a watch that's already been released, but creating a new variant with new materials. Oh, I do like this grey one here because it's a chronograph, and in the hand that's going to be special. I can tell you right now, if I had to choose one of these Bulgaris today, one of these Octos today, it would be this one here. That has absolutely jumped out and grabbed my attention. It's lovely. Isn't that nice? So, where was I? Okay, Octo, Bulgari. They are lovely. Look at that. Look at that. I suppose, hopefully they're flickering. There you go, it stopped there. And gold, I mean, look at that. Isn't that delightful? And this blue one here. Now, you know, these open dials here, just fantastic. Aren't they lovely? I think, you know, from a business point of view, creating an iconic watch like this, it must be so, you know, nice for the designers and for the brand Bulgari. You know, this is very, very nice. And a product that creates this lovely emotion and feeling. Bulgari certainly does that. It's really nice. I do like it. In fact, I'm going to end this video on this Octo here. Chronograph in grey, and it's just fabulous. There you go. Chronopassion in Paris. So, MB&F, Chronopassion in Paris. Once again, it's one of these retail venues that is like an Aladdin's cave. You know, you look around, and you're greeted with things that you're drawn to, you want to take a look at. So I'll turn the camera. So I think what I will do, watch people out there, MB&F, they're going to recognize perhaps this clock. It's I've seen this clock before. It might not have been this exact clock in Geneva, and I thought, I really want that on my wall. There's something so lovely about it. Isn't it cool? I just love the way that it's so there, and against a white wall, you can't think of a better place to have it. Isn't that delightful? So if I spin around here, we have. So this is also MB&F Lab, and the wall has just started moving, and actually I think it's following. Yeah, there we go. It's actually following me. Look at that. So if I go to the right and the left, that is the. Did you see that? There you go. There's me. And if I wave, there we go. You would want that on your wall, wouldn't you? Isn't that cool? Okay, so straight away we have a clock that instantly draws you in, and you are thinking, what on earth is that? It's like a beetle clock with wings, and it looks like a collaboration with Lepe. And I do the orb. I do apologise if I've butchered the name or missed some important information. Now, of course, this little guy, and I've done a video on him, and just so cool. I mean, look at that. You do want that on your desk, don't you? Now, of course, we've got the other orb in white. There we go. I must remember to take a photo there. Right. So this is where I'm going to forget the model names, but I will bring them into the video now. And of course, the driving watch there. I mean, that is cool, isn't it? But look at this thing here with the red outer part. Look at that. In fact, you know, having that on your desk, wouldn't that be cool? Just like this, you know, the display in this retail venue. You could have this on your desk. I mean, maybe I'm going too far there, but isn't that nice? The next thing to take a look at is the music machine. Now, after a moment, you realise that it winds up and music and notes are created by the turning of the tube there. But again, it's the presence of that object. I mean, it's, you know, this is mechanical art once again. You know, that's a piece of artwork, but you'd sort of want it. I mean, look, it's like an animal and a starship at the same time, because you've got a bit of a nose here and some eyes. It is quite cool. Okay, then we have an octopus clock, but it's called the Medusa. That might be a very good name for it, but isn't that cool? Right, so I've been in this place for a moment. Now, what is that? Because I haven't seen this before. I'm not going to touch it, but I have a feeling it rotates. So it's like an alien, but it's an alien fan, not a fan, but it's a revolving alien thing that looks fabulous. There you go. Now, what do we have here? We have a guitar. I mean, look at that. I would love it if someone commented below what guitar this is. I just like the look of it. I wonder if it's actually being played. I bet it has. But isn't that cool? If you saw someone on stage with that, you would know that that is an MB&F, a guitar, or some relation to MB&F. Isn't it lovely? And look at this little meeting room here. Isn't that cool? You could sit there all day with a coffee and chat about watches. Anyway, this is MB&F at Chronopassion in Paris. It is very exclusive, and it does have that lovely feeling about it. I like it myself. And before I go, let's have a quick look what's inside here. I think this is one of MB&F's new pieces this year. They are exquisite, they really are. And the presentation is maybe I've got it there, because the dome of the crystal over the top is really nice. I mean, imagine that on your wrist. It's like wearing a piece of architecture and art. Isn't it lovely? Okay, and then we've got this, look at that there. You know that when you look at this, you could spend hours falling into the dial and falling into the manufacture. Isn't it nice? Look at that. Okay, let me. Oh, there we go. We've got this alien flower moving. Look at that. Okay, I want one of those for sure. Look at that. It might be too long, but I'll keep the video on for a moment. And I wonder if I've got the right way around. Yes, I have. You can see some of the technology there at the back. Once again, MB&F is an application of art engineering, you know, high levels of technical art engineering. Look at that. Anyway, there you go. I've been talking way too much. But this is MB&F in Paris. Chronopassion. Look at that.